Look, it's snowing. I have to show everyone. It's beautiful outside. Hello.
Hey, hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Did you see that it's snowing outside?
It's snowing here too.
Yes, I mean, we are both
I
in
don't know if
Berlin,
the camera
right?
picks it up, but it's yeah, it's beautiful out there. Super
Yeah.
chilly.
Look, I show you my view. Maybe we don't see anything, but yeah.
How's things?
Well, actually, good. I'm having a good time. I'm in the studio. I don't need to take a shower. I don't need to dress. I'm just working every day, and it's going well. And you?
Yeah, good. I mean, it's yeah, it's been really unusual. Trying to figure out ways to continue what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
But it's also been quite interesting trying to figure that out. And yeah, I mean, for example, this wouldn't have happened if we wouldn't have been in this situation. You know, we chat on email and occasionally on Instagram chat.
In
To have,
real.
but to have like a chat like this wouldn't probably have happened if we wouldn't have been in this situation. So I think a lot of good things are coming out of it. We've just got to be, yeah, creative in ways we keep doing what we're doing, you know.
Yeah.
But it's been weird. It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm out uh, of the studio and I go out, it's like, when I'm working, I don't even think about Corona, and then I go out and it's weird. Everything is really weird to go food shopping, and yeah, everybody has mask on and you have to queue forever. And I don't know, it feels like, okay, this is part of history. I mean, kids, they will study this in their book one day, that we had a
Yeah.
huge plague in 2020 and that we are in Europe and a lot of countries can't even deal with it. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, and it's just yeah, I guess it's the magnitude of it is just too big to fully comprehend. You know, it's yeah, and the length of time in which this might go on for is also undefined. There's just so many elements that are yeah not quite understandable at the moment, and yeah. But has it affected the way you've been working at all, or because I mean I guess a lot of people have this perception of the way artists work, and it is, more or less in isolation a lot of the time. And yeah, I'm curious to learn how or if it has actually affected the way you work, or if you're actually finding this time of, even more sort of enforced isolation, more having a productive effect or a positive effect on the way you work. Is there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a positive person, and so I try to see it as something good to really focus and work. And I think I've been working more than ever right now, which is great. But for example, the show we should have together in April, it's like we don't know. Then I should have also another show for Gallery Weekend. It's cancelled. So I know that this is off, and then I just try to work anyway. I mean, that's the only thing I can do. It's to keep on working. And I do that. I know that I have to go to buy material now. I think it's going to be complicated to buy canvases and stuff. So let's see how this is going to go. But then I must say that I'm really, it's funny, I'm really like requested on Instagram, for example. Like, there is brands with whom I was collaborating. They asked me to make live videos, to show around, to make video to see how I paint, for people to inspire them to also show like what you can do at home. So I take part of it. I think it's funny. And then there is a lot of people asking to buy my paintings, a lot still. So this is really interesting. I get a lot of emails asking for price lists. And I think people are now really like on their iPhone, you know, on Instagram. They are bored, they don't know what to do, and they want to spend money somehow, and then they are still looking for art. So in a way, this is cool that there is still people buying art. I'm really happy. I don't know if it's the same for every artist out there. I think I'm kind of lucky. But then it's like it's difficult, you know, they want to come to the studio, and then I'm thinking, what do I say? Do I say yes? Do I meet people? You know, do I say no, let's wait? But also, of course, I need to pay my rent. I have a really expensive rent. So it's a lot of questions. It's just much more now practical. How do I meet people? How do I, because you can be online and you can get followers and you can work, but then you need to give your work to the people who wants to buy it. And this is a bit complicated now. I don't know if it's politically correct to meet customers and show them around, and you know what I mean?
Or biologically correct.
Yeah.
But people are they're actually asking you, are they, to come to your studio and meet you physically, and they're not necessarily asking if it's okay, they're just assuming that they can come and collect your work, or
no, that's me.
Work,
that's me if I'm fine with it.
Right.
So yesterday was somebody who came to buy a painting. I said, okay, of course, you know, we don't say hi. I mean, we say hi from far away, and there is no contact. So it's okay, but it was also somebody I knew, but new people, I don't know. I think I want to wait a little bit somehow.
I think that's the weird thing. I mean, there's so much information out there at the moment, and it's I don't know personally what the actual rules are on that. I think it's still a little bit unclear. As the last time I checked, I think it was you're allowed to meet with one other person, or you know, in a situation like you where you have your, you know, your gallery, your workspace, and someone come to visit. I'm not 100% sure if that is going against any rule.
No, maybe it's just because
I mean, it's not a
scared.
necessity.
I don't know.
It feels like a lot of this is left up to the individual to really decide how at risk they want to put themselves, but also there's a lot of judgment going on around that because of the, you know, how extreme and strange the situation is. So even, you know, if you decide to do that, other people will, you know, have an opinion on that, and it's really odd. I mean, and it makes sense, I get it, but it's also quite strange, you know.
Yeah, I mean, usually I also don't talk to so many people about these kind of things, I guess, you know. But for example, our neighbors in the studio, the guy next door, they all got the virus, and now
have they been? Is this so? They've officially got. Have they been? Because I find this is another thing that's happening a lot. Like, people are getting sick, and for me, it's sort of. It seems like there's an assumption that it's corona. It must be corona, and
they got tested. So
they got tested. Okay.
Yeah, they were positive. And then we didn't hear from them for like 2 weeks. They were just not coming to the studio anymore. And now they are all immune. So they were like 5. And then, of course, their family got also the virus. You know, it really spread really crazily. And now they're okay. So actually we met this morning. And it's kind of cool because now they can go anywhere and they are fine. You know, they have no fear anymore. So
but but that's another confusing thing. I don't want to go too corona.
I thought that was part of
It's hard not to go too corona. Yeah, I thought that if you've got it, you've still got to isolate because you can still pass it on. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
2 weeks of quarantine, then you are immune. And you get, actually, they got a call from a doctor to say, okay, I can release you from home now. They were getting a call every day from the Gesundheit, checking on them. And then a doctor called and said, okay, now you can leave the house. And then they can leave the house and keep on going. And now they're immune. So,
but now they have to abide by the rules still, though, right? They're not allowed to you can't like just get a
Of
bunch
course.
of immune people having parties still. They've got to
No,
have
you have to take it easy still.
yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it's if because basically for the people watching, we've got Joanna and I have got a exhibition booked for April
April
24th,
24th.
which feels it's felt like a long way away. Even still feels like we've got a bit of time, but suddenly it's April. Is it tomorrow or the next day?
Yeah, in 2 days.
And yeah, so it'll be interesting when that comes about because I think I like the idea of continuing, somehow the plans, and that could be a cool challenge to actually to say, look, whatever happens, let's do it and try and realize it in a different way. It could be interesting, to talk not necessarily now, but to figure out a way in which we could go
Because
ahead with them.
you have a show running at the moment, no?
No, we just finished that, and we were going to have an event with a neighbour actually, but this had to be cancelled, of course.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we're just working on long-term sort of structures and things that actually usually get sort of pushed to the side, which I guess most of us, that's what most of us are doing.
But what it's weird also is that, every show, Gallery Weekend is going to happen in September, and all those exhibitions, everything are postponed, for the future. But then so many things are going to happen at the same time in the future. And then it's going to be an overload of everything.
A million events on Tuesday. Which one do you want to do?
So how do you want to do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it would be cool to talk about potentially how, if there was an interesting way we could still do it. And again, maybe this goes back to the actual rules, but if we could have, private appointments, or I don't know if that's allowed. Maybe that's something we can investigate. But
some galleries do it, private appointments now. Do people come though? I don't know. I don't know if people go. I honestly, now it's snowing, so there's no way I would be outside, but I would not go out just to see a show. But I don't know.
No, I think that's not necessarily a cool thing to do right now. But well, let's keep chatting about that outside of this conversation to see what happens. So
do you want to have a quick studio tour quickly?
We would love to see your studio. Let us have a little look. It's quite a famous studio, isn't it? You've had quite a lot of because we were doing a little bit of research today, and yeah, you've had a really nice sort of platform of exposure with this place. It's become an important part of your practice and your work, and yeah, it's been another sort of dimension that makes you and your work special. But yeah, it'd be really cool to have
I'm so lucky to also have a studio, because then I'm not just in my house. I can also come here and work and go home, and I feel so lucky to have that. Some people, I don't know, are maybe going crazy, and yeah. So I must say I feel really lucky, and I'm So now I'm working.
Cool.
That's a still life. It's not finished. It's about drinking some pastis.
Drinking some pastis?
Pastis, yeah. This French alcohol?
Ah, yes. Delicious.
From Marseille. Now this is a still life about drinking some rosé.
I see a theme building.
And here I got these new things to put my paintings, which is really cool. So I'm working, you see, it's a little bit everywhere right now. I'm working on this chair. I have to finish to paint it. And here we just had lunch. Here's Manu.
There's a man. I can see a man. Who is this man?
Yes, the man is doing great. He's working on this giant flower right now.
Beautiful.
You see?
Wow.
And here we have some gummy bears I just painted. And here we still have the bathtub with some food. Here we have the cosmos, the universe in the house. And here we have Manu on a camel. Here we have some nice ice cream and flowers. Here a giant lady. And the balcony, the snow. I just framed this painting today.
Beautiful, yeah.
This was
And
this is
you do your own framing, is that right? You make your own framing, is that?
yeah, I mean, you see, it's a lot of pieces of wood together. It's really like find object or wood that I put and then I repaint it. So it's not the most professional framing you can get, but I think it's who I am also. It's really homemade.
Do you consider the framing as whilst you're painting in a sense, because it's so much a part of the work?
Yeah. Yeah, it really finishes the work. It makes it like a little object. And here we keep on going with a lot of palm tree. So we have like holidays in the house. And a snake, a lemon, a zebra, some chili, artichoke, bananas. Yeah, and
wow,
sometimes we sleep here. We've been sleeping here for the last 2 weeks also.
Okay.
Because we are also, we took the time to renovate the apartment we have in Prenzlauer Berg. So we also like, you know, like change the floor on the kitchen and do all these things we always wanted to do, like repaint the furnitures and stuff. So it's nice to take the time to do all the things you always dream of doing.
Yeah.
It's now or never.
That's the general sort of feeling, isn't it? I think with most people I've been speaking to, it's a time to really focus on just longer term aspects of our practice and our life, and just have a little clean and a reflect. It's really an amazing time to do that. If you know, we have the privilege to be able to do that, it's quite a special time in that way.
Although we are really lucky in Germany, we are really still free compared to other countries.
Absolutely, yeah. But I mean, what else can we do but make the best of that, you know? And if we can help other people in that process, then obviously that's also good. So there are a couple of questions that we came up with,
really?
but I sort of feel I want to keep it real casual as well, because really I saw this as an opportunity just to have a chat, you know. So and it's not necessarily a massively long form thing. But I've got
like talking to me.
I've got well, it's easy, but I think it would be nice maybe just to put in a couple of questions, let's have a little look here. If I just kind of already asked that, okay. Okay, so this is an interesting one. You like to use old techniques, materials, but at the same time, you say you like to paint fast, which isn't the traditional way of painting, you could say. Can you tell us a bit more about this? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I paint with oil, as you can see. Only oil. This is my kind of palettes. And of course, I have to wait to finish a painting, so it takes weeks. Sometimes I try to make an oil painting in one day. I manage it, for example, with the bear. How do I do that? Wait, the bears there. I made them in few hours with oil.
Wow, super quick.
Yeah, but it's also because I have it's always about the moment. If I spend too much time, usually I paint it over. I just don't like it anymore. So it's just my personality is now or never. So then I started to learn how to sometimes how can I say, leave some part of the canvas for the colors to don't mix together, or sometimes I do it in purpose. And there is a lot of artists like Picasso or Matisse, for example. They were also painting in one day really fast with oil. So I'm like using old techniques, but not really the old one, I guess, maybe, I don't know. It's just, I use a technique that are rabbit skin glue on canvas, oil on canvas, and then I reappropriate them to me, to my style.
So that makes sense. So you like the traditional materials, the oils and some of the old techniques in that way, but the style and the way you approach is more down to just who you are and how it feels most natural to make work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I relate to that. I'm much more about the immediacy rather than the process. So yeah, I
know there are people who love to spend hours and hours with a small brush to make all the details, you know. I could not do it. It's like if I have to do this, I will end up just like, you know, go really wild and trash it up. I think for me, it's like no details. It's much more simple, minimalistic forms, one color, and going straight to the point. I think that's how I see my work.
But I mean, that makes complete sense that, you know, that we, you know, the way we make work is through our personality, you know, and if it doesn't make sense to spend lots of time on details, then of course that's going to inform the way, you know, you work. I'd like to change things up a bit. We're just going to wrap things up a little bit because we've had a nice catch up. We had one, a little bit more of a meaty question, you could say. And now we're just going to end with a little funny, light piece, you could say. I'm gonna say two things, and you have to choose one or the other, okay?
Okay, yes.
All right. And it's pretty simple, and this is the first time we've done this. So this is complete experimentation, so it could be very strange and awful. Okay, let's start. So tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Paris or Berlin?
Berlin.
Matisse or Basquiat?
Oh, I
Five,
can't decide.
four,
Oh, I can't.
3, 2.
Matisse.
Matisse. Ooh! Dildos or flowers?
Oh. Oh no, I can't choose. Okay, flowers, because I'm a romantic.
Tarot or astrology?
Tarot.
King of Spades or the Queen of Diamonds?
King of what?
King of Spades or the Queen of Diamonds?
Queens of Diamonds.
Virgo or Taurus?
Depends if we talk about a man or a woman.
Virgo or Taurus?
Taurus.
Weserhalle or König? König?
You can't do that.
Oh, that was a joke question.
Why do you try to get into troubles? By the way,
let's move on.
Look outside.
Let's move on. Wow. Two more. 16. If you had to choose between 16 small eyes or one big eye, what would you choose?
One big eye.
Your studio is on fire. You have to save one thing.
My studio is on fire?
Yes. No, it's not really.
No. I have
But
to
if it
say
was-
one thing.
Yes.
I would say, oops.
The books.
No, I would.
books.
No, sorry, I didn't understand. I would say one thing. Okay, I hide a lot of cash somewhere.
Oh, good to know. We're having a studio visit soon.
I would save that.
Okay, the cash. Fair enough. Fair enough. Johanna, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you. This is
Pleasure is mine.
the first artist is live, and I'm really happy it was with you. And thanks for the chat. And we'll keep in touch about the potential exhibition coming up. And yeah, be well, and we'll chat soon.
Yes, take care, be safe, wash your hands.
Yeah, I should wash my hair as well. Look at the state. I'm growing a corona beard. This is why I look a little bit
I
ratty.
didn't even brush my teeth today. I thought I don't give a shit. It's not a real meeting, so who cares?
I wasn't going to say anything, but brush those teeth.
Yes, I'm gonna do that now.
All right.
Okay.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak soon.
You too. Ciao, Ben.
Okay. Ciao. I don't know how we hang up actually. How do this?
I think I just pressed the cross.
Okay. Bye bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Leave.